Day 22 of our 100 movie bucket list challenge, and we're talking about The Dark Knight. Mostly. On the 100 movie challenge poster, The Dark Knight is the only Christopher Nolan Batman movie there, and there is a reason for that. It's had a life removed from even Batman himself, let alone the rest of the trilogy. But I still want to have a look at the other two, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight Rises. So while we'll mostly be focused on The Dark Knight, I'll talk about the other two a bit as well. So while The Dark Knight is a sequel to Batman Begins, you don't really need to have seen Batman Begins to watch The Dark Knight. When I was a kid, I watched The Dark Knight first. It was years until I watched Batman Begins. It stands more or less on its own and grounds these larger-than-life characters and ideas in a more real world. But the thing is, Batman Begins did that first. It also turned the source material into something more genuine in the story of Batman's origin. So why did The Dark Knight get particular praise for doing this when it wasn't the first? Let's address the elephant in the room. Heath Ledger's Joker. He's not just exceptional, he's generational. It's like Anton Chigurh in No Country for Old Men in the sense he's a psychopath you just cannot take your eyes off, and I think the character is an anomaly in the whole trilogy. Generally, these films are more logical than they are emotional, but with Joker, there's almost no logic. He's just bloody insane. This is all summed up by Michael Caine's Alfred and that immortal line,
"Some men just want to watch the world burn."
His conflicting accounts of how he got his facial scars also add to his mystery. Which one is true? I kind of like the idea he just made them all up, to be honest. And it's of course beyond tragic Ledger never lived to see the impact his performance had. Aside from Joker being a huge part of why this movie hit in a way Batman Begins didn't, is in my opinion just a better film. I do really like Batman Begins, especially the first hour or so. I love the way the story's told out of order and lets you piece it together yourself, and when you eventually see Bruce Wayne suited up as Batman, it's really satisfying. Also, and this might be surprising, but it's really funny. Of course, Batman Begins isn't a comedy, but I was happy by how often I was smiling. But overall, The Dark Knight does just take things to another level. There's a confidence to it which, understandably, wasn't really there in Begins, especially in the action sequences. Anytime IMAX cameras show up in both the last two films, it's always a treat. As far as The Dark Knight Rises goes, unlike Night, it follows on hard from its predecessor. Knowledge of Night is more or less essential to getting the most out of Rises. It may feel a little bit in The Dark Knight's shadow, but overall I do think it's a solid capper on the trilogy. Though not everything works, there are too many characters and the conclusions for some of them are underwhelming, but I think it gets enough right to stand with the other two. It was definitely smart to go with a villain like Bane, who's so different from Joker it invites no comparison, more methodical and way more physical. Watching Batman be properly physically tested for the first time is genuinely tense, and I think their first confrontation is the best fight sequence in the trilogy. Overall, I love these films. I've seen some people describe them as Nolan light or him on easy mode, and I couldn't disagree more. Yeah, they're big IP movies, but I don't think for 1 second Nolan is holding back. And bearing in mind The Dark Knight's impact outside of Batman the other two don't have, I still think it is the best of the three, but the other two shouldn't be slept on. Thanks for coming to my TELF Talk.
And here we go.